nice snow that looks pretty.
Yeah,
it's not
not the ones that make it hard to drive. Isn't that right, Dan?
Yeah, the kind of the nasty, like the flakes are almost like wet, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't the light snow.
But I got to say, that's when we were coming in, right? Especially earlier where it was snowing out in Greater Springfield. Now we have actually flipped over to rainfall, but still snowing Franklin County, the hill towns and the higher terrain. Temperature right now 34 degrees. So we've been climbing pretty much all night long. So you can see readings from Westfield to South Springfield in Palmer 34. It is 36 in East Long Meadow. So we have gone over that sleety rain. Right now, it's still snowing up in Northampton, Franklin County, it's still snowing, Greenfield, we have snow, the hill towns and higher terrain, it is snowing there as well. But how about that? 35 degrees warmer right now compared to yesterday at this time. And visibilities have come way up. That's a good indication as to if it's snowing or raining, right? Visibilities are better when it's raining, but it's still snowing. The Berkshires, the hill towns, Franklin County, out along Route 2 where visibilities are under a quarter of a mile. So the snow, the precipitation ongoing now. We're going to continue to see this mixture or this changeover line continue to make its way creeping up through the valley and then eventually across the hills and higher terrain. But most of the precipitation across the hills is going to be in the form of snow. And over the next couple of hours, it's actually going to be coming down at about an inch or two per hour across the Berkshires and hill towns. The back edge of precipitation now approaching coastal Connecticut. So this is spinning through pretty fast. I think the steady stuff is done more or less by about 9 o'clock or so. But between now and then, we're going to get a ton of precipitation. And where it's snowing, the snow will continue to add up. Our area of low pressure is off to the west. Notice how we do have a bit of a backlash on the other side of it. So we may get some additional rain and snow showers this afternoon. But in the valley, there'll be little or no additional accumulation. Again, we're pretty much done with snow in Springfield as our area of low pressure tracking to our west and helping to bring in that milder air off the Atlantic. So steady precipitation ends by about 9, 10 o'clock. I think as we go into the afternoon, we will see just some leftover rain and snow showers, and we'll continue to see that change from south to north as we go through the morning. Highest snowfall amounts, elevated areas, that's for sure with this particular storm system. Winds gusting this morning up to about 40 out across Berkshire County, up over 50 miles per hour. That might lead to an isolated power outage or two over the next couple of hours. I think that would be very isolated at best. Strongest winds are actually off to our east. All right, let's check in with meteorologist Don Maher, who's outside right now in the elements. Don, we were coming in, it was snowing 2, 3 o'clock, and now you can hear some of the sleet and rain that's coming down in Springfield.
Yeah, it's been sleet and rain out here, Dan, for about the last 45 minutes or so. So as you mentioned, the accumulating snowfall here in the Springfield area is done. But the higher elevations, they're going to hang on to that snow a bit longer. And that's why I think we're going to see the higher snowfall amount. Snowfall total so far about 5 inches in Southwick, 3.5 Westfield, and in Florence here in Springfield, about 2 inches of snowfall before we saw that transition. So overall, I think we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches here in the lower valley. You make your way north and west of Springfield, you get into that 3 to 6 range. It's Berkshire County along the east slopes of the Berkshires where we see some of those higher snowfall amounts. I think the highest snowfall amounts are going to be the highest elevations, parts of northern Berkshire County into western Franklin County, where they could see double-digit snowfall amounts by the time this all starts to wind on down. But the other story is the wind. You know, the winds have been pretty gusty out here this morning here in the Springfield area. We've seen those winds gusting up near 30, 40 miles per hour at times. The strongest wind gust, though, going to be to our east, eastern Mass, southeastern Mass, over towards the Cape and the islands, and that's where we have wind advisories and even some high wind warnings in effect. There are no advisories for us here in western Mass as far as winds are concerned, but even so far this morning, we've seen winds gusting near and over 40 miles per hour at times, so the winds will certainly be a factor as we continue to move through the morning and into the afternoon, but we'll begin to dry things out a bit as we head on into the afternoon as well. But Dan, the accumulating snow here in the Springfield area, that's done, as right now we're dealing with, as you mentioned, that mix of kind of sleet and rain right now.
Don, always a sad thing when it goes over to rain. Maybe not, but you get that beautiful snow coming down. Next thing you know, it's gone over. And that process of going over to sleet and freezing rain will continue to kind of creep its way up the valley. This is our futurecast over the next couple of hours. Notice how we have the winds depicted on here. In the valley, the winds aren't the strongest, but look at these winds out across the shoreline from Boston and Chatham. Winds will be gusting about 60 miles per hour. As we get deeper into the morning, the steady precipitation coming to an end, the wind swings around into the southwest, and the rest of the day, really, there won't be a whole lot going on. We'll have a lot of leftover clouds. It'll still be breezy, but the strongest winds will occur this morning. Then we'll see clearing skies overnight tonight as that wind swings into the northwest. And that'll bring in the colder air for tomorrow, but it's also going to bring in the sunshine. So return to sun for tomorrow. High temperatures will top off probably in the mid to upper 20s. So it will be a cold day. When you factor in the wind and the breeze, put them together, and it will feel like it's in the teens. So 40 this afternoon in Springfield, 26 tomorrow, and back up to near 40 on Wednesday, though. That'll be a mild day. Front comes through Wednesday night and Thursday with a few rain and snow showers. And then here comes the deep freeze again. It settles in on Thursday, but especially Friday. And as we go into the weekend, perhaps a storm threat along about Saturday. All right, well, another look at the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Amanda David, back to you.